Good morning. Hope you all are doing well today. As usual, I'm still getting things together as I get started. Morning to you as well. I gotta fix the Twitter post. So yeah, I've been also cross-posting on Twitter just to try to see if I can pull some people over from over there over here. I have like a really old account that I haven't used for much aside from work in a really long time. So trying to see if I can actually get some use out of it. All right, let's start with some crazy stuff. I'm actually, I've been trying to avoid the reflecting pool story, but there's all these MAGA people surrounding it saying that it's safe to drink out of and they'll drink out of it. And there was something else with I posted something about the ducks, and there's all these people commenting at me like, "Oh, it's safe for the ducks. It's totally safe." I think it's one of those things that really puts the delusions. Yes, it is blue now apparently though. Probably because they got a ton of chemicals in there. And that was the comment that I was making. Let me throw the chat up there. So yeah, it looks clear now, but it's probably definitely not safe for ducks, I would imagine. And let's see. I'm guessing that isn't safe for ducks, the chemicals. And then people are saying, yeah, ducks hate oxygen. You guessed wrong. Sit down. This guy, I think, is just joking. Firstly, it's not chemicals. It's Happy Dad seltzer. Secondly, the ducks love it. But this guy is amazing here. Let's take a look at this.
Why do you think so much algae appeared in the reflecting pool?
You know what? Let me tell you, doesn't matter if algae or chemical or whatever. You have to compare the president, the condition of the pool, how it looks, and how it's. I mean, I can come down and drink the water if you want to.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
Let's do that. That'll wake me
Let's
up.
see what happens here.
So we are headed down to the reflecting pool. This person is going to drink the water. For the record, I do not think the water is safe to drink.
No.
I agree. And I think you might get in some trouble for this too.
These reporter challenged me if I could drink the water. Can I drink it?
No, don't drink no water.
Yeah.
Don't touch no water. See?
I don't think it's good for you.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter. You know what? Here.
We said you probably shouldn't drink the water.
They luckily did stop him because he listens to authority.
If they allow me, I'll drink it. I'm not going to vandalize anything.
And don't touch the water, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure not supposed to touch the water.
I prove to you it's
it.
safe to drink. I would do it with their permission. I'll drink it for you.
Nobody wants you to drink the water.
It wouldn't be for us. We're just
Nobody wants you to drink it.
following you.
You just said you do it, and we would.
You don't seem like you're on my side.
People are nuts, man. I really don't think that that was a parody either. Yeah, definitely. Because he seemed genuine. Like, he seemed like a genuine random Trump guy that they found. I feel like he probably knew that he was not going to be allowed to do it, and that was going to be like an easy out. But regardless, people are crazy. So yeah, this week it was reported that the Trump administration already. Okay. What? Sorry about that. I'm not going to go up now. I can't go up now. I got to stay down here. Do you want to stay down here with me? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry about that. Yeah, she has this thing where she needs to sit on her perch on the couch and look out the door, even though we live in the middle of nowhere. I'm like on a dirt road. Maybe we get like a delivery. But that's about it. Bubbles is very, very good at communication. They say that pugs are dumb, but she understands a lot. She has this thing though, where she has discovered that I will give her a treat, like if she comes down here. So then she'll just come down here and she'll take it and then she'll just go back upstairs. We do. There's like deer and stuff running through the woods every morning, and we saw a raccoon not too long ago, like in the tree, just chilling with its babies and stuff. And last year I took this really crazy picture of an owl that was outside my house. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, that's maybe it. She does what? Yeah, that's it. She is watching the wildlife a lot. That makes sense. So yeah, that's probably what she wants to do. Yeah, I get bored out here, but the wildlife is one of the few good things we got. But yeah, this story was crazy when I saw it, because GWAR has been doing this for decades. Not specifically about Donald Trump, but you know, I'm pretty sure that they have been performing for like, they were old when I was a kid and I went to see them. And that was like 20 years ago. The first time I saw them, they killed George Bush. And then the second time I saw them, they killed Obama. But that wasn't the only person they killed. They killed a bunch of like effigies and they like had these fake executions on stage, and that's their whole thing. They usually, the venues cover the place in plastic, and they put like old carpet down on the floor because they shoot blood all into the crowd and stuff, and it's like a part of their show. But yeah, they executed a lot of other people during the shows, like whoever was culturally relevant at the time. They did like the Pope, they did Paris Hilton. And that's just from like what I remember at the live shows, seeing two different presidents, a Democrat and a Republican. And I'm sure that they have been doing these executions of Trump for over 9 years. Yeah, it's been, there is definitely nothing new about GWAR doing fake executions of politicians. That is like literally their live show. It is the main thing that you can expect from one of the oldest metal bands on the planet. They killed Elon Musk apparently last year. But I was looking at this. There are videos that go back 7 years of them killing Trump. And yeah, it is very like, you know, gory, but obviously like fake, you know what I mean? Like the blood is just like obviously paint, or, you know, some kind of fake blood. And this is 6 months ago. It's a very similar show to the one that was 7 years ago. It's like the same outfit, the same stage props. So they did this during his first administration. Let's see. See, look, they did Obama too.
Guess you guys are stuck with me for 4 more years. And guess what else? Everything those right-wing honking cracker motherfuckers said about me was true. I hate white people. Hey, black people, tomorrow is free money for Black People Day. All you whiteys, stay home, because you're all fired. Hey, black people, it's free malt liquor day. Get some.
What the fuck? See, it's like a parody of, you know, everything. This was a band that was on Beavis and Butthead, like regularly. This was Beavis and Butthead's favorite band. They killed Obama and Hillary Clinton in this one. Let's see what he said for the Trump one. So it's
I guess you guys are.
Hold up. I can't find the
Guess you guys are stuck with me for 4 more years. And guess what else? Everything.
We are aliens! I don't like that shit, man. Look like they're born of Osiris or something.
exactly. They're nonpartisan.
What do you got in? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. In fact, we are aliens, Trump, and I think that you are a fucking racist. Not true.
Yeah, and here they're like calling him a racist and then killing him.
True. Not true. Not true. Fuck Trump! Is it true? It's very unfair, isn't it? All right. Let's kill this motherfucker! Very unfair. I mean, I love this Spanish. Come on, I love my food. I even love Nick.
Yeah, it is ridiculous that they're investigating them. Especially because this is like an administration that claims to be about free speech, but it's way past the point where that's even a realistic possibility. Like who even believes that at this point? There is this idea in the United States that the right to say slurs is like the be all end all of free speech. But when it comes to criticizing people in power or traditions or anything like that, or anything that they don't want children to see, they want to censor. You can never challenge power. And yet it is like super cringe, of course. But it is free speech. They did a TED Talk. That's hilarious. Let's see. For this, GWAR is allegedly being reviewed by federal agents. Their manager, Sleazy Martini, could not be reached for comment. Anyone? Yeah, so let's see. For years, GWAR would do whatever the fuck we wanted, Blothar said in a recent interview. We would kill politicians from both sides of the aisle. We would kill famous people. We never had any backlash. But when Trump was reelected, he said people started getting extremely upset about politics and music and people in art. Which, again, these people still claim that they are free speech people. Yeah, and there's no way that they can prove that there is an intent of threat here. And yeah, it's just so weird because it's been going on for so long. Like, I don't think any administration has had an issue with this. And like, of course, it's cringe and it's crazy. It seems like, mostly teenagers of each generation and the people who were around for the beginning. But I literally found out about them on Beavis and Butthead when I was a kid watching that shit. And I bet what happened was some MAGA guy went to some show or some festival that they were at and was like horrified. And that same MAGA guy is probably posting Nazi shit on Twitter saying that Elon Musk brought back free speech. Yeah, exactly. It's just shock stuff. Their whole purpose is to just like be offensive. And like that thing that I reported on yesterday with the guy that got 30 years for printing and moving zines. I mean, it was the moving, but they said that the zines were evidence of terrorism. There's a video from like months ago where Trump was like, we took the free speech. And it's kind of funny because during his first administration, he had a quote that was like, "We took the guns." I think this was after the Vegas thing. I think they're still touring all over the place. It seems like. I didn't even know that they were still around. Also on the free speech issue, speaking of your city, Alchemy Gaming, we got this story. Federal agents track down Syracuse woman, demand she remove Instagram post about ICE. They're standing over her like she's in the principal's office writing like, "I will not skip class" or some shit. Two ICE agents issued a warning to a Syracuse woman Tuesday to remove a social media account that they said threatens federal agents. She said that she believes that they are referring to a January post where she named the ICE agent who shot the protester, Renee Good. Paige Lynn Gagne was working as a poll worker Tuesday afternoon at the Central Library on Salina Street when agents called to meet with her. She said she invited them in. She said she did not want to meet them outside alone. "I've seen the news, especially in Minnesota," she said, "and I don't want anything to happen to me at all." The agents handed Gagne a form letter that says that they were investigating threats made against ICE personnel. The form says agents had identified an Instagram account that they believe breaks federal law. They asked her to remove and discontinue the behavior, according to the unsigned document she shared on Instagram. The notice officially informs you that it is unlawful to threaten, assault, kidnap, and or murder a federal official or a federal official's immediate family member with the intent to impede, intimidate, and or interfere with the federal official's duties or retaliate against a federal official due to their performance of their duties. Wait, they put murder and impede in the same sentence. It's unlawful to threaten to assault, kidnap, and or murder. And she just said, I think that he should be arrested. The document said she could be subject to both federal and state prosecution. The agents had New Jersey phone numbers and license plates. She said the agents held a folder with copies of her social media posts and her driver's license. They tried to scare me into signing it while I was working, she said. She posts frequently about immigration on her social media accounts. In January, she posted the name of Jonathan Ross, citing news reports. Ross is the agent who shot protester Renee Good in Minnesota. His name has been widely reported in news stories and other social media posts across the world. I think today is a great day for Jonathan to be indicted, the post says. Indicted, that's like very legal language. She said that she does not consider it doxing to quote a news story and to call for an indictment. I didn't dox his personal information, such as address, phone number, she said. She said she does not intend to delete her post. In addition to the Attorney General's office, she said she has contacted representatives and mayors and New York Civil Liberties Union. For ICE to come to me over a social media post feels very 1984. Yeah, it seems ridiculous. I mean, people have said more than that. Nothing has happened to Jonathan Ross, but many protesters have been arrested. Yeah, she called for one of these guys to be, I've said worse. It's crazy. And yet 15 people were just arrested like last week in Minneapolis for terrorism charges for being related to Antifa, even though nobody was hurt or anything. Just for their participation in trying to impede, which could be anything from warning neighbors that they're coming to, you know, standing in the way. Jake Lang was interviewed on Alex Jones's show, and Alex Jones introduced him as Baby Hitler, and then played Darth Vader music when he left, like the show, which is like, you know, it's just funny seeing them fight. You know what I mean?
All right, let's go to Jake Lang to get into all the stuff he's done. Would take hours, so we're going to go to him in a moment. But I wanted to finish up with just this clip with Handsome Truth, aka Baby Hitler.
I am not
Handsome Truth, aka Baby Hitler.
in the same category as these people, so I would really respect it when you bring me on.
Yeah, well, I'm on. Stop for a second, okay? We're on 400 plus radio stations. You can cuss some. We got to delay it out. But if you keep doing it, I got to put you on hold because. Let's play a clip
It's
of
grotesque.
you. Let's play
It's
one of the, let's play a clip of you.
Expect 10,000 Christians and white men to stand up with me before your land and your children's future is robbed from you. Thank you, Alex. God bless you guys. It's good to be home. Freedom isn't free, America.
All right, Jake Lang, say what you want about him. Man's got a lot of courage.
Does he have like a picture of the My Pillow guy in his background? What is that about? And a Crusader helmet? What the fuck? What is going on here? Why does he have a large picture of the I think it is him. Like, I'm recognizing the mustache. Yeah, he's just calling it the Alex Jones show now. I have it really is out of control. That was a little bit clipped up, but I have the actual thing, like the middle of it where he's talking about what happened to him. I don't really think it's worth talking about very much. He went and made threats against Carmelo Anthony, who, you know, that trial, it seemed pretty clear which way it was going once it was ruled on, but he was outside of the court saying that if the jury didn't convict him, then he was going to take matters into his own hands and kill the guy when he left court. So he was arrested for terroristic threats, and then he ended up having a massive bail because he was wanted in other jurisdictions, and he was breaking his bail terms there. He does, yeah. He did try to he did say some really creepy shit to an alleged 15-year-old girl on some kind of messaging app. These dudes are definitely suspect for sure. The other night, there were like a bunch of DSA election wins in New York. I didn't cover it yesterday because I'm not super focused on elections. I just like to focus on individual issues instead. But it's It is quite interesting. I do think it is a positive development, considering that many of those people that got into office have expressed views that align with mine in the past, like even going as far as prison abolition, with the one congressperson that just got elected in New York. So I do think it is a positive development, but I also think that it is dangerous to put 100% of your hope in electoralism, and we really need to look for other solutions. You know what I mean? I don't like it's still I don't have any issue with participating. The reason why I say it awkwardly is because for years I was one of those people that told everybody not to vote and shit. And Trump obviously has like made me feel that even though I really do hate both of the parties, one of them is absolutely more dangerous right now, for sure. And I do understand voting in self-defense, but I still believe that the change that we can affect through the system is extremely limited, and that we need to be like looking for direct ways to stop the system from what it's doing. Because I mean, you know, we have had years of wars being rolled out, this whole surveillance system being rolled out, no ability to stop any of it through the political system. Even people who get into power under promises of doing stuff like that end up being consumed by the system in ways that they just compromise, even against their own beliefs, just to stay in power. So I do think it's good, and it's an interesting conversation piece. Exactly. Yeah, I do think that there is a lot of value in it. Now, my opinions have definitely come around over the past, you know, decade, I'd say, after watching the shit that I've seen play out. I mean, we were in a different situation in the late 2010s than we are, or in like, you know, the late 2000s than we are now, like 2010-ish, you know? I don't know what you call that time period. Like once you get into the 20s, it starts making sense, but you know. But let's take a look at Fox News melting down about some of these elections. Yeah, I think that there are so many different vectors where we can change things. Like, of course, protesting is one, even electoralism is another. Like building media networks, raising children to not be authoritarians or not to experience authoritarianism is another one. And also trying to live in your own life those values as much as possible. Let's take a look at this clip, though, from Fox News. They're losing their minds.
You have what's interesting to me, too, is that typically you have a candidate and they make, you know, sometimes outlandish statements on either side of the aisle during a primary. They're trying to win over the far right, the far left, and then they moderate. But not in the case of the socialists. Last night, as this Claire Valdez was walking off stage, she's one of these socialists who won. She said, solidarity forever, abolish ICE, free Palestine, organize your union, and join the DSA. Those are not.
I don't really have a problem with any of those things. What was it? Abolish ICE, Free Palestine, solidarity forever, organize your union. That sounds... Yeah, the 2010s. What's before the 2010s? Like 2000 to 2010.
The words of a typical candidate: moderating, coming to the center, wanting to win independence. Those are the words of someone who is so tethered to an ideology, they are going to take it all the way.
They are very upset that there is a possibility for the Democrats to change their strategy of running to the center. And that is what makes the whole thing a uniparty, for the most part, is the fact that, you know, for most of the past couple decades, both parties have been centrist, with just like a little bit of shade to one side or the other. Trump has managed to push the party like very far to the right. And that's why, even though there is still uniparty on certain things, it isn't as tight as it was back in the day. Okay. I like it. Thank you for the education. But yeah, that has always been the thing. And I think over the past 10 years, the right has really benefited from the Democrats constantly trying to run to the center and win over Republican voters, because of the fact that the Democrats are constantly like trying to play defense instead of playing offense. I think that it benefits the Democrat politicians in power too, because they want that money from their donors. So they don't want to stray too far from the uniparty, because then that's where their money comes from. And there is this kind of potential now for people to push that party to the left in the same way that Donald Trump pushed the party to the right. I think it would have been better if the DSA formed their own party and didn't run as Democrats personally. Like, I have always thought that would be a much better strategy, because these people get run into the party under abolish ICE, free Palestine, solidarity forever, organize your union, and it gets watered down to, you know, some other bullshit. And yeah, Democrats aren't even playing defense. They just give them what they want. But I mean, in terms of narrative, so like immigration, for example, instead of pushing back and saying, no, fuck you, there's no problem with immigrants moving here, it's perfectly fine, they're not causing all these problems that you're saying. Instead, they're like, yeah, we really do have a problem with immigration. We gotta work on this. We're actually going to be harder on immigration than they are, because we're actually serious about it. That kind of shit. Yeah, that is true. Americans are 4% of the population, or 4% of the global population, for sure. But yeah, it is very it's kind of described so many different ways. Like, are they just dumb and, you know, afraid, or do they just legitimately want things to stay that way? Stay the way that they are. And here he is complaining, Jesse Waters complaining about communists, and also blaming immigrants for bringing in other ideologies. which this is the typical old tropes and shit, but they are really afraid that there could actually be an opposition party. Because even though the Democrats kind of are an opposition party to, like, in theory, they don't actually push back on any of the core political projects that they have. They act like it. The right is always acting like, oh, the Democrats are communists. They're taking everything. And meanwhile, they're at the Peter Thiel meeting too. And they also are putting in anti-immigration policies and throwing trans people under the bus and not giving people the economic policies that they want, the benefiting corporations constantly, giving bombs to countries that are funding that are carrying out genocides.
They got rocked on their home turf. So bye-bye. This is dangerous. You don't think these people can springboard to become governor, senator, AG? This is how it happens. You guys run your little power centers in Chicago, Los
Yeah, that's how they did it.
Angeles, New York. All of a sudden, you guys just populated all the higher offices in those states. And you guys are just going to sit back and do nothing with that power? You're coming for us. You're coming for our money. You're coming for our people. You're coming for our way of life. It's not socialism, guys. This is communism. You can't reason with these guys. You have to crush them. And we will, because we're not going to let our greatest city get destroyed. We're not going to let our civilization get destroyed. These people are going to steal from us. These people want to hurt us. This isn't like your regular Democrat. Tish James says these people are crazy. One of the ladies said she wants to destroy Western civilization. Now, I don't know about you. I take that as a threat.
That sounds awesome. I feel like I've said very similar things.
Another woman says she wants to empty prisons.
I've said very similar things.
That sounds like a violent threat. Abolish ICE. That means you can break into the country, rape, and stay. I don't like that.
That is not true. Abolish ICE does not mean that rape is legal now. These people are psychotic.
Not going to go for it, and no one's going to go for it. And the way we're going to react is going to be a lot tougher than the way Trump is reacting. The way we're going to react is going to make Trump look like a kitten. I look at Latin America, same thing. You have presidencies that swing from crazy communists to right-wing tough guys. Is that how America is supposed to be? Because that's
no, we just should swing from right-wing tough guy to centrist tough guy. Right-wing tough guy that bombs and imprisons, or centrist tough guy that bombs and imprisons. Both of them funded by Northrop Grumman, Palantir, Boeing, etc.
That's the way it looks. These people don't believe in borders, capitalism, our founding fathers. They're here to steal, punish us, and then throw around welfare. This is a third world takeover.
This shit is hilarious.
This is what happens when you import.
And now this part is not.
The third world. Did you know that New York City is 70% non-white, 40% foreign-born, 50% of the apartments, they don't even speak English, not even their first language. These three women who Mondani endorsed weren't even born in New York City, weren't even raised in New York City. They're carpet.
Yeah, it is very sad and very scary that a lot of people buy into this.
Baggers, carpet baggers, Jessica.
Fucking strange. And really, this has been so normalized over the past couple years. Like, you know, even 10 years ago, it would have been unheard of for somebody to be saying that kind of like Nazi shit on primetime television. You can't even, you know, show a nipple or say a whole big ass list of words, but you can be fomenting race war on the airwaves. That's what, like, the priorities of free speech are so twisted. And I wish I had thought of to remembered this in the previous segment so I could have clipped it better. But there is just what people think is free speech in America is how socially acceptable it is to be an asshole, pretty much. You know, to call people names and shit. Now, of course, calling people names is a part of free speech, but there is no law against that. Like, you know, the Secret Service is not investigating people for, you know, their hateful posts online about marginalized groups. They're visiting them over their jokes and their hyperbolic statements about people that they will never have any relation to. Can't even hardly be considered a threat. Like, nobody will ever have access to Donald Trump. Like, you may be one of these patsies that they try to pick up for one of his staged things, but, you know, it's crazy. But then when you have legitimate threats, legitimate harassment that happens on a regular basis, they want that to be protected speech. They want their ability to harass random individuals online to be protected free speech. But, you know, they want to ban what books their kids can see in school and all of this other shit. They want to investigate, you know, metal bands for their stage shows. And I really feel like that conversation of free speech in this country is so difficult to have because people are so stuck on the social, like, what they want to say is not socially acceptable. So they think their free speech is being violated. It's crazy. But then we'll support government cracking down on things that they think are obscene. There was also all this drama yesterday with this housing bill that was supposed to pass, but Trump abruptly canceled it and said that he was not gonna sign it and until they pass the elections bill that he's trying to do, the SAVE Act, which is one of the ways that he's trying to rig the election. And he's saying that anyone who's against the bill just wants to bring a lot of communists in. I'm wondering what prompted this. Some people are saying it is what we were just talking about. It is the socialists winning the elections that made him freak out and want to clamp down more on them. The funny thing is, though, is that none of his administration was prepared for it. They were in the middle of a speech talking about how awesome the bill was. And then they're like, so what's the deal with him not signing it? And they're like, what? And apparently some of them are expressing public dismay at him over this.
Mr. President, do you still have confidence in Leader Thune, sir?
Are you going to sign the housing bill, sir?
Will you Mr. President, why are you
The war is going very well. As you know, we're winning by a lot.
We're winning by a lot. Yeah, right, man. What the hell? Oh, thank you. Luckily, I just started it.
Mr. President, do you still have confidence in Leader Thune, sir?
Are you going to sign the House bill, sir?
Will you
Mr.
President, why are you?
The war is going very well. As you know, we're winning by a lot. Iran is making very big concessions. We'll see what happens, but it's been very, very, very powerful. It's going very, very well.
This guy.
Go ahead.
Buying a home is unattainable for so many Americans. Is this election legislation more important to you than resolving the housing crisis?
This is every election's important. We're doing very well. They want a lot of communists to come in. I'm saying it a little bit differently, but the people that they're pushing are communists, and this country is not going to have communists. Thank you very much.
So when he's asked about the bill and why he crashed it, it's like, you know, because we don't want communists here. What does that have to do with anything? This is a Republican saying that Trump was bullying him and that he's not gonna take it.
The president didn't want to hear my question, interrupted me. I didn't care to be interrupted, and I'm not going to be bullied when I'm trying to get answers for the American people. And so, so it escalated from there. The president didn't want to.
And I saw like Michael, I don't think I have it queued up, but I saw Michael Johnson was once again running away from reporters, but he actually, I think, let it slip that he was pissed somehow. Which would be a first. Oh, if they have enough votes for the bill to become law without his signature? Yeah, the other thing is if more radical people are voted in as Democrats, then there's actually more of a chance that they will hold the administration accountable. The Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer wing of the party won't. And I think that they are very reliant on that. Let me see something real quick. In recent weeks, I've been talking about the increasing attacks on disability rights and funding for disability programs. And now reporting out from Bloomberg, I think yesterday, 2 days ago, is saying that it is like a Stephen Miller project, essentially. And apparently they're saying that his measures would increase homelessness. Not surprising that Stephen Miller is behind that. Going to get into some of the police news for today, starting with some flock camera stuff, and then I have one or two videos that are kind of messed up. So if you have issues watching that, you could probably tune out after the flock stuff. But there has been some investigations that have found that police are grossly misusing these license plate readers, these flock systems. They're more than just license plate readers. Like, they read your license plate and then it builds a profile about you that has access to like everything. Police have reportedly used license plate readers to stalk romantic interests at least 20 times in recent years. And that's just that we know about, that has been caught. And that's just in the US. These are they have a list of stalking cases here. Pennsylvania, Kansas, California, Florida, Tennessee, Illinois. And I also saw a thing where Canadian police were having an issue with it as well. It looks like the Ottawa police representative had to like make this video saying how they're taking the problem seriously.
I want to have a serious and an uncomfortable conversation with all of you. Change your behavior now or quit. Leave. Members are using our databases as their own way to meet women. Seeing a woman at a coffee shop, coming out of a gym, driving next to them, getting their license plates and running them on the system. We've seen members messaging vulnerable victims on calls that they've attended in an attempt to develop an intimate relationship. There's a clear need for OPS leadership to acknowledge that this issue remains present and to speak openly about it. Silence or minimization only allows the behavior to continue.
And that thing that he mentioned, like about how they contact or try to like initiate inappropriate like relationships with people who are in vulnerable situations. So they will take somebody's number from a domestic violence situation or from a rape even, or some kind of sexual assault. And then they will either try to initiate a relationship or just be another assaulter. There are so many stories that I've written about over the years where they have done that. Now, with tools like Flock, where they can just have any information that they want about anybody, including where their real-time location, that is creepy, you know, and there's just a lot of harm that can be done with that kind of power and people who have no oversight and already have a high percentage of like being corrupt. Like if you're seeking out those jobs, you usually aren't a very compassionate person. It is crazy that I'm not sure if he's the police chief or whatever, it doesn't say, but that he had to come out and say, like, change your behavior or be fired in a public announcement. Flock actually has a page on Twitter. Oddly enough, they only have 5,000 followers, which is quite weird. But they've had to turn off comments on this post about how surveillance makes us safer. Let's see what their advertisement looks like. This is a pro Flock advertisement.
We got information about a subject that was armed and dangerous. We were able to use Flock LPR to kind of narrow down the area where he was.
We finally got intel that he had a tattoo on his neck. And I saw a gentleman standing in front of one of our restaurants, and I zoomed in a little bit, and I saw the dark mark on his neck.
From nearly 1,000 feet away, we can zoom in, identify this tattoo. We have our officers on the ground. It kept the person that was in crisis, the officers, and the community safe. It was something I was very proud that our staff was able to do.
The DFR is an asset. It's a tool for our patrols. We use the DFR as overwatch for our patrol officers, so we can guide them to resources, guide them to specific places where an incident may be occurring.
Honestly, it helps us connect the dots faster.
Getting that 100% aerial perspective of any call for service that you guys have within your department is a crucial piece for officer safety and for community safety.
That's creepy as hell. Even without the abuse of it, you know? And let's see, there's this one ICE situation that happened here in Maryland, Florida. What the hell am I was looking at another link that said Florida while I was saying that. ICE came out about this. Like, once the video of this came out, ICE responded by saying that, you know, they were trying to arrest a terrible criminal, like a human trafficker. They always say that. And these people intervened somehow. And this person is a U.S. citizen who was arrested. ICE tried to say that he was like kicking the car and all sorts of shit. They released him without charges. So that's obviously bullshit, especially because they've got cameras everywhere.
Yeah, call Jenny. Call Jenny, bro. She's gonna help.
You think you're funny, motherfucker? He's a veteran. He's fully legal. You're gonna see this when you fucking.
All I'm telling you is just stay back.
No, bro. Okay? Just wait. West Warren made it legal for us to fucking sue your ass. Fucking wait. AI. Remember AI? AI's advancing, motherfucker. You wanna get your fucking fist. We're fucking legal, bitch.
And yeah, so they released him without charges after that shit. ICE's side of the story was that they were arresting the worst person in the world and they intervened. But in a very violent way, they described. Which, if it was the case, there's no way he would have just been released like that. This is the... Yeah, so even though ICE has been getting all the attention, they are basically like a... You know, I mean, I call them super pigs, but they're like an advanced version of police in a bad way. Like, everything that's bad about police, they make it worse. So there is still really crazy police shit happening on a daily basis that doesn't even have anything to do with ICE. ICE is the occupying army in many of our cities and towns, but each city and town has its own native occupying army in its local police department. This one guy, 27-year-old in, I think, Brevard County, Florida, which is why I said Florida on the last one, was mauled by a police dog because they were, you know, looking for him for violating probation from a reckless driving arrest.
Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Step out! Step out of the car! Hands up!
Hello, everyone. I'm Sheriff Wayne Ivory, the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, and it's time for another great episode of Riding Shotgun. Tonight,
they like put that out voluntarily.
I'm out of our West Precinct getting to ride with Deputy Gunner Nussel, one of our favorites out here. They call him Mr. Hustle. He's a second-generation law enforcement officer. His dad works for us. He works for us. Let's go ride shotgun with Gunner Nussel.
Why do so many of them like stand like this all the time and like clutching onto their vest things? The ICE people do that too. I don't understand what that is. Why do they all do that? It's the weirdest stance. They edited this like it was some cool thing to be proud of. Let's skip ahead here.
And I usually go across the street and
No, it's a bunch of different cases. I guess that was their favorite one, so they made it as the hook. Insane. He was totally complying too. He just had his hands out the door. Like, all right, I'm getting out. Wild. Then we have a police department in Louisville, Kentucky. Violently arresting this disabled 15-year-old boy.
No, I'm not. I didn't do it. What did I do? You're interfering with the arrest. Put your hands.
Apparently he's autistic, and they released him later with no charges. Try to track down more info on it. Hold on.
Put your hand behind your back. They told us. The cop told us to come back to get the call. Put your hand behind your back.
And it seemed like he was just following orders from a cop.
They told us to come back. Put your hand behind Put your hand behind your back.
Bro, they got their like knee on his fucking neck. This is insane.
Okay. They do what the police tell you. I am. I'm not with. They told us, the cops told us to come back.
We did not know you to come in here. I clicked the intercom at the front. Get out. We need to get out. They're getting to our car. That's what they're doing. You want us to leave? Because of everything going on here. We couldn't get in. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, don't get on the elevator quite yet. Where's that? Where's that? Come this way, please. I'm sorry. Is it this one? Down. There's the.
Yeah, like they're trying to get their way out of there. That is ridiculous. I see that there's an investigation into it. Let me, they got a paywall on this one story. I think I found the actual report, though, right here. Nah, this is a different case. Yeah, yeah, they're trying to. I think I killed that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to find some more info on that one. But yeah, they are messing people up every day for no reason, just because they got in that job so they could exert their power over people. All right, I think that is all I got for today. I will catch you all later. And check out my other videos if you haven't yet. Peace. Don't forget to check out my other videos. And if you have the ability and want to contribute, take a look at my Patreon, where you can get a subscription to my books and other cool stuff. I have some other videos to watch, so if you haven't seen them, go and binge on them. I'll see you next time.